Welcome to Pull the Pin Already, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions in the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promise we're going to enjoy giving them to you.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike. Let's pull the pin.
Yes, I don't know
All
what that
right.
awkward pause was, like I was waiting for you to say something. Like I've only done this, 100 times or plus
Yeah,
or something?
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So what do you want to talk about, Mike?
There's a couple things out there. Um, People are asking for the Justice, what's his name, Breyer, to step down. You heard about that?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
because he's so old.
Right. Because the other one wasn't either, though.
No.
Or the one before that wasn't old either.
Right.
Or the one before that.
Mm-hmm.
So these are only requests because of what?
He's so old.
But what is it really about?
Oh, they want to hurry up and get him in there get somebody in there before Biden gets out of office.
So that means they're not sure Biden's going to get another 4 years?
I think it's a political game. No one's sure about anything.
Well, I mean, if you had the confidence, right? Wouldn't you just be
Yeah.
like, oh, we'll get him next 4 years? Well, they got 6 years to live. They're
Right.
old, but they're 6 more years, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
the fact that they're pushing for it means there's some doubt.
I would agree. And I think it's good reason to have doubt.
Yeah, I'm with you. I
You know.
think good reason as well. I'm just saying.
But then again, I've seen miracles happen.
Miracle. What do you call
Yeah.
them? Miracles?
um, and politically, I would say Trump not getting reelected.
But do you think that's a miracle? Like, do you
Oh,
think
yeah.
anything that happens up in the world of politics
Oh,
isn't
no.
planned and orchestrated?
Well, now you're
There
getting
might
a
be
little bit too
surprises,
serious. You're getting
but
serious now. No, I don't think
yeah.
it's a miracle.
Oh,
No.
that was your sarcasm again?
Yeah,
Damn, I always
extreme
miss that, Mike.
sarcasm. Yeah,
Always miss you. We need a sarcasm emoji or something.
yeah, something.
Or a little sign you can hold up saying, hey, I'm sarcastic. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, but that I would say that Obama being elected, period.
You
But
think Obama was a stretch?
oh yeah,
Really? I don't know. I think Obama was perfect timing.
really?
Yeah, I think it was perfect timing. 'Cause
For
I think that was the start of the lesser of two evil celebrity status movements. Like before it would have been just the lesser of two evil old politicians.
mm-hmm.
And I think Obama brought us a little bit of hope and change like he promised.
Yeah,
People were like, I'm getting tired of this old stuff.
right.
And Trump, even though, he's an older white guy, still is not the traditional, Biden, I don't want to talk about Biden because we'll get the whole channel taken down. But yeah, I think that was the start of a new movement and a new generation that says, yeah, we're tired of this old system. So, and I think that's what you're seeing now. I think you're going to see a lot of people now revolting against this because whether it was their team or not, it's right back to where it was. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
So what do you think? You think that Justice should step down, retire, get out
I
of
think
there?
they should have a limit anyway. Like, let's be real.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Come on.
Yeah,
Ruth, like, where was the retirement for her? I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
Republicans probably wanted to retire, but, like, really, like, she was, I think, probably dead for a month, and they still propped her up like she was still alive. I mean, I don't know. Where was the call for
Jesus,
retirement?
where'd you get
there?
that from, man? God.
Well, I mean, she had cancer, dude. She should have taken the time off and just went to her family, just enjoyed. You know what I mean? You don't need the stress of
Yeah.
Congress.
Yeah, my thing is, but it happens all the time. Every 4 to 8 years, it's gonna happen where they're gonna say, "Well, next one up." Who's hitting that
Right.
plateau, if you will. And like you, I believe there should be limits in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't see why they get more than 12 years.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and it's kind of funny because you think about it. Like, just think about all the to do about Trump taking a test and a cognitive test and all that, and you got all these justices that I mean, they probably can't even pee standing up anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and you're worried about Trump, like, but yet you got like what? So you recognize it with the president, but you won't recognize it with the Supreme Court and all that. Like, come on.
Yeah, my thing is, you can't run the free world for more than 8 years, whether you want to break it up into 2 terms or not. But you could be on the Supreme Court justice for, good Lord,
Life.
yeah, life.
Yeah, and that
And
was the
I
whole
don't think
thing.
it's, yeah, I don't think that's the way it should be.
No, I agree. And even if you wanted to say maybe it was a 10-year term, or I think you mentioned the number 12.
Yeah,
I don't know where you got that from, but that's at least a compromise. It's a nice compromise.
yeah,
Give them the years to establish their, knowledge in the court, and I think it should be rotating. Like, every year one changes, every 2 years one changes.
what do you
So
mean?
that, like, if it's 12 years, it's not like, oh, next year 4 people are coming up. You know what I mean? Where they have to be every 2 years, where we drop one every 2 years and bring a
Oh,
new one
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
Like almost like a chamber.
Yeah,
Once you expend one, you load to another one,
yep.
and then do that every 2 years. This way, no president will ever get more than what, four?
Unless somebody passes away or elects to retire.
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the reason why I say like 10, 12, or whatever, because what's the average age? Well, now they're trying to get them in there very young,
Right.
just so, like you said, they're in there for life. So now you're going to have at least 30, 40 years of someone in there representing one side. And I
Right.
never understood that when it came to the law, but, you know, we've
Yeah.
been wrong on so many other occasions. So I don't
Well,
mind being
like,
wrong on this one.
I was curious though too, that the benefit of it. Like I was saying, I know I was just playing around, with um, the whatchamacallit, the age and getting up there, the Alzheimer's and stuff. But really, at what point do people stop becoming effective? You know what I mean? And then they're
Yeah,
just a signature. They're just a signature or just a stamp.
right.
You know what I mean? If I think Supreme Court people should maybe it happens. Maybe every year they should get up and they should have to give a speech on something in depth on the cases or a summary of their year. Like they should be required to do that every year, and this way people can see their cognitive, state of mind and where they're at and what they remember, because
Yeah.
that's huge. I don't know how you can just prop somebody, give them a rubber stamp, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know when there's judgments, there's certain people that write rebuttals and all that, but we still don't know where that really came from. Like,
Right,
couldn't
right,
couldn't
right.
somebody write for one of these judges and him
I was about to say that.
rubber
I'm
stamp
sure they
it?
have a team of writers, and
Yeah,
they'll probably read it to them, and they bless off on it. So now it's like they wrote it.
right. It's at some point it's like just like the Pope with the waving. Like no, they
Yeah.
should have to come forward every year and give their speech about the state of the year or the whatever they did that year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be a great idea. And then people could say, well, this guy doesn't sound like starting to sound more like Joe Biden. We need to
I knew that
move
was
him on.
coming. Yeah, I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. But yeah, I think we're in agreement there. You should have term limits, and if he's, what is he now, like 88, 92, something like that. He's up there,
Yeah, I don't
But I
know.
think he should step down.
Yeah,
And if he doesn't
I
want to, I think they should force him.
really.
Yeah,
Well, I don't think you can force them
I know, but I'm
unless you
just
have
saying, if
reason,
they did
right?
it, I wouldn't. Yeah, dude, you're too old, man.
Well, but that's my point. There has to be some sort of
Yeah.
standard to force them. You can't just force them now because there's a Democratic president.
No,
Like,
see, yeah, yeah, I get that's why certain people are saying it, because they trying to gauge like, we don't see him making it another 6 years or so, or
right,
if he does, he might make it past 6 years, and then it's going to be a Republican in office.
right.
You
Could you
just
imagine
know.
how he feels? With people betting on his life. Here's this dude saying, "What? You don't think I'm gonna live 6 years? Like,
Yeah,
what's wrong with you?"
yeah. Well, I would say this. I think he's used to it. He's
Sure.
been
I
in the
mean,
game for a long time, so he's used to it.
right, right.
Yeah.
And that's why I said that goes back to the thing where I would like to see a little kickback from some of these people, because at least
Hmm.
they have life and they're not just a rubber
Right.
stamp. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Fair enough.
Hmm. All right. What else we got on deck?
I don't know. Do you want to talk about that shooting in San Jose?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the one I think it was one in Florida.
Oh, there's another one?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
like a backyard or front yard argument gone wrong or something like that.
Oh, but that just sounds like Chicago, dude. That's not.
That's
That doesn't sound
Florida,
like
but
news. That doesn't sound like news.
so what happened in San Jose?
It's looks like a train yard place or something. Like it looks like an employee thing. I didn't read the whole thing. It says
Hmm.
Leaves 8 dead, deceased, suspect identified, victims shot in separate buildings. Yeah, it's talking about the shooter took his own life. Santa Clara Sheriff Smith expresses grief for the families. Yeah. Said deputies, San Jose officers were on the scene. They took their life in their hands. I know what they did. Yeah, I don't know, man. This son seems like still working on the suspect was identified earlier as some 57-year-old dude who
Wow.
was a VTA employee.
Oh.
And no motive known. So I'm assuming this is a disgruntled employee job.
Oh, okay.
And I guess his ex-girlfriend said he was prone to alcohol-fueled mood swings and had been accused in March 2009 court filing a rape and abuse. So this guy obviously had problems, period. And I think this is what the problem is. What are we going after, right? What's the solution? Or what's this administration's solution for this?
Gun control.
Yeah, right? It's got nothing to do with this guy and his mental state and his alcohol abuse and all that. It's got nothing to do with the person. It's just that the fact that this person who's
If he had more gun control laws out there, he would not have been able to get a gun.
Right. And that may be a true statement, but I think both could be true at the same time, right?
And it also could be true that he just borrowed one from the neighbor. We don't know.
It could be true that he just broke into a car and found one, or it could be true that he 3D printed one, or it could be true he went to a hardware store and got some other stuff to make some high-powered other things to do stuff.
Yeah.
So it's at the end of the day, that's why I laugh at this stuff, because it's not about the gun. It's really not. It's never been about the gun. And
What do you think it's about? Control?
No, it's about these people's state of mind. It's about the.
Oh, you're talking about the actual shooter? Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking
Right.
about the gun ban is about control. Yes.
Yeah.
That is about control. But I'm talking about the shootings.
Yeah, I think that's one thing people don't want to talk about. I don't know why it seems that way. Even today, I can understand 20, 30 years ago, but now even today, no one wants to talk about mental health issues.
And think about it. Think about 20, 30 years ago, right? Like we saw movies like, insane asylums and all these things. Like we saw these things like that they used to do. We also saw a lot of horrific things happening in those places.
Yeah.
So it's not that I would be making an argument against or an argument for standing these places back up. But I mean, look at the levels of PTSD, the suicides, all the mental health problems right now. And then here's the biggest mental health problem. You got people in media that have more mental health problems than anybody. And you got social media that's creating more mental health problems. So what does this got to do with guns? I would ban social media before guns, personally.
Wow.
And you think about it, because if the shooter goes in and does this, nobody knows about it, right?
Right.
Right now, everybody knows about it. Everybody knows. And that's, I think, the Columbine guys that started the big gun shooting thing. That's what it was. It was about notoriety. It's about people seeing them being significant and important. So you take away the media attention, and these guys, it's not important anymore. It's not worth doing. So then it's just a disgruntled guy goes in and does something,
Like the old postal workers back in the day.
Right.
Yeah. Hence the term.
Then, but do you remember any of those people? Like, do you remember any incidents?
It's always a postal worker or former postal worker.
Right. And you just knew about it, right? You just knew some postal worker went crazy and shot everybody because, whatever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't sensationalized, and I don't think. Well, I can't get in their minds, but I think a lot of that was just disgruntled employees, not people looking for fame or recognition or significance. They were just.
Yeah, but I would say that in all of these cases, there's some mental issue there.
Yeah.
For them to think that right there, a mass shooting, is going to solve your concern or your issue. I think that right there is a mental issue in itself.
Well, even just to take a life, right?
Yeah.
What it takes to take a life. I mean, you could be a trained assassin, even like in the military. They had to condition us to take a life.
Yeah.
They had to condition us. I mean, that's why I think PTSD is a little more prevalent in the military, because you're training people who don't normally think shooting people's okay, and you're making them go out and dehumanize the enemy and shoot them. So what did you think you were going to get out of that?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if they're not taking, what if they do take away our guns, though? You think that will solve it? Not the mental health issue, but the, mass shootings.
No, because you've already seen stories about guys downtown with samurai swords, and I mean they use different things, knifing people. Guy, there's been multiple knifings of people downtown just start stabbing
Yeah, but
random people.
more of them survive than the shootings.
Oh, so it's about the death and the, so maybe you wouldn't have as many dead people.
Right.
Okay, if that's what you're looking for, that's great.
Hmm.
But then think about all the ramifications of people not having guns. Now, does that change the dynamics for other people for make opportunities to start robbing homes again and creating more stabbings? Then, like, I
I
mean,
don't know. I don't know how it.
so you
I
have
don't
less
know.
death but more people hurt. Like, which one are you trading off? I mean, I know death is not a thing we want,
Right.
but I think by letting people have guns, you're not letting the whole world go rampant that wants to commit crimes.
So you say let people protect themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even from a knife, we know the deal with the knives. Sometimes
Hmm.
knives are quicker than guns. So
What's that? The what was that? The 21-foot rule.
yeah,
Yeah. You know,
yeah,
it happens.
right.
It
So
happens. I think
they
you can do
really
more
got,
damage. Sometimes I think people do more damage with a knife than a gun.
they
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's just me though. Yeah.
That's why I said I don't know, what you're saying with the deaths, anyways, because I don't know the numbers. But I mean, if you get stabbed somebody multiple times, I mean, you can kill them too, just as easy, and you can do that just as
Yeah.
fast as pulling the trigger.
True.
So
True. But I think it's a point of, hmm, like when you always don't bring a knife to a gunfight or something. Don't bring a
a
knife
gun
to a
to
gunfight.
a gun to a knife fight, what?
No, no, that's what the police do.
Right, right,
They
right,
bring the gun to the knife fight, so
right.
they have the upper hand.
Well,
You know
let's
what I
look at
mean?
the
And they're
dynamics
supposed
though.
to,
But
huh?
look at the dynamics of that. Let's just say you have a scenario where a guy brings a knife into a crowded place, whatever, mall, airport, whatever, and just starts stabbing people. When does somebody know that something's happening?
Oh, it could be a while.
Right. How many
Mm.
people could he stab before people realize what's going on? Take that same scenario with a gun. When do people know that people are getting shot?
As soon as they hear that, as soon as they hear
Boom.
that, yeah, as soon as they hear that
Right.
first one,
So, which one's more dangerous?
right? Yeah,
You know what I mean? These are just things you can just think about just logically and be like, okay, so let's take everybody's guns away, and now we have a bunch of stabbings all over the place where, people stab multiple people and nobody knows what's going on until they're all dead.
yeah. It's what is that one? They said more people die from drunk driving and drunk drivers
Right.
than gun violence in any given year, and I was like, whoa. So
Right.
I looked it up. It was true. I forgot I forgot which year it was, but I was overseas. I had a lot of time, and it was true. And I was like, wow. But
Right.
nobody's talking about banning that stuff.
Well,
That
we don't
stuff
take
being
cars,
alcohol.
right? In fact, even cars, even just regular car accidents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now the texting and driving, all the distracted
Hmm.
driving, that's causing accidents and death too. So we don't ban that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Look, we let old people drive that don't even know how to stay in the lane. I mean, we're doing absolutely nothing. And even if you want to go down to the bare bones of it, have you taken or seen a driver's test lately?
No.
It's supposed to be a privilege, right?
Right.
Not a right. It's a privilege. Driving is a privilege, not a right. But I don't see many people failing.
Right.
You know what I
Me
mean?
neither. Not even the
So
driving portion.
right. So are you
Right.
telling me all these people are just really good at driving?
Right. Right. Yeah. So I
So
mean, I don't know. I don't know. What else you
yeah.
got there?
I didn't even see. Well, let's see. CNN loses nearly 70% of their audience since Trump left office.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
yeah. I
For
mean,
real?
yeah. I don't. Like I said, I don't know how to prove it, but it's written, therefore it's true, right?
Mm. I read somewhere that there's not any more or any less killings by police officers in the 1 year since George Floyd died.
Right, because
Yeah.
we already know, though. I wasn't fooled by any of that.
Yeah.
It's a straw, man. It's what we just talked about in one of our last episodes about the good
Well, you
cop.
would think that it would be less though, with all these cops walking off the job.
Well, sure, sure. But then again, that's a double-edged sword because remember we talked about that with all the cops walking off. Those are the ones that are not about to lose their career or go to jail for something they don't think is reasonable. So you're going to get a lot of hires that are just there for the money. I don't know who would
True.
want to be a cop in this day. I mean, with the public backlash, the lack of support, I don't know who'd want to be a cop.
Okay.
What?
I don't. I just don't get it, man. What is there to be afraid of if you're doing everything right?
Well, that's the point. What is there to be afraid of? But right now, all cops are bad. Cops are getting executed in their car. I mean, obviously, it's the 1% like we talk about. It's a
Yeah.
small percentage of incidents, but it's out there as well. It's not just now that you have to worry about going to a domestic and getting killed or a traffic stop with a high fatality rate. Now you got to worry about a random citizen walking up and shooting you, like something that wasn't very prevalent. Maybe it was. Maybe we just didn't see it.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think we would have heard about it a lot more. Just a cop sitting in the car, and that's only happened like what, twice?
There's
No,
more
it
than
happened
that.
once with two cops in the car. That's what it was
No,
in
I
New
think it was
York.
more than that.
Really?
Yeah, I
They
think it
just
was
sitting
more
in
than
the car
that.
and then someone shot at them.
Yeah, it was more than that. The one they had the picture of the guy running by shooting the two cops. Remember the one guy got hit? I thought it was in California though, wasn't it?
Man,
Yeah,
it's
I think it was
besides
more than that.
California. I thought that story came out of New York, but it might have been
No,
California.
I think there's been a couple. I don't remember them all exactly, so we don't have to beat on it because
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
really
but
know.
that right there, to me, even though it happened twice within a year, and
I just saw some the other day that the cop was ambushed on a call.
oh,
Yeah,
they responded to
was it
yeah, I
a
read that
domestic
one.
or something?
Yeah, yeah,
And then the one before that, remember the crazy guy was killing? He was the barricaded, but that wasn't really for the cops. He killed his family.
yeah,
I don't know. The point we're getting at is that it's another element we shouldn't have to worry about. But whatever.
yeah.
So straw man
For the
meeting.
cops that are leaving, I still stand by what I
Yeah,
said in previous episodes. See ya.
yeah. And well, what's happening is they're going to the urban places. They're going to the more, they're getting out of cities, kind of like what you were told to do. Get out of the
Hmm.
city. That's what
Yeah,
they're doing. And those places they're opening up their arms. Hey, come on in. We'd love experienced cops.
right.
So it's really the big cities that we're losing a lot of them, and that's a tough thing to me because I think if you're going to find corrupt police, it's either going to be in small towns where everybody knows the cop, and you know what I mean, that he's a corrupt
Mm,
dude, or you're going to
mm,
find it in the big cities.
mm.
So I guess to see them leave, to me, it wouldn't be a free for all grab a cop from a city because I really wouldn't know if he was one of the good ones or bad ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Dude, my livelihood, bump that. Nobody's coming after me as far as the department or the politician. I'm not worried about it.
Right.
I never was.
Yeah, well, I wasn't
Yeah,
worried about it from a perspective of integrity because I always
right.
police with integrity, but I know the powers that be. I mean, I know it's really not hard for one cop to set you up or to make you look bad, and then if the chain of command believes him, it's integrity versus integrity. You
Yeah,
get the
but
more integrity.
yeah, with everything going on right now, that's been going on. What you're talking about, little cases like that have been going on for ages.
Right.
But now, if they're leaving because they don't feel like they're supported and all of this, I'm like, okay,
Yeah. I
show
wouldn't.
me, show me the evidence.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. I mean, especially in those big cities. Like here, I don't think our police have a problem, and I don't think any of them are leaving here where I live.
Well,
But I
all
wouldn't.
police are bad, so they should be walking out also.
Yeah, but I don't. I also don't think this is the place where that's all happening.
Um,
Those are big cities, Portland, all that.
yeah,
It's the same places. The same places that have had problems all the time.
mm,
So
yeah, I stand by what I said.
yeah,
You got
you mean
something else you
goodbye?
want to talk about?
You mean the goodbye? I stand by. That's what you.
Yeah, it's just, hey, do what's good for you and your family.
Mm,
That's it. That's the best way to put it. Do what's good
sure.
for you and your family.
So you want to talk about some coronavirus stuff? There's some nice stuff in here.
What? Give me an update on coronavirus.
Well, first of all, you've seen what's coming out, right? The whole Wuhan thing now.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So remember when certain president brought that up, and he
Mm-hmm.
was called all kinds of names, and then when people supported that, and everybody was a conspiracy theorist.
Mm-hmm.
Now the people who called him the names are starting to say, "Oh, looks like this could be," almost like they just discovered it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's quite funny, and see that's the funny thing is like once you see the tricks they play, it's obvious. To the
Mm.
people who are oblivious, then the ones with the funnel up to their ear
Mm.
about what they get all the time for the same thing. It's obvious though once you start seeing the little games they play, how they trickle stuff, or what do they call that? The silent edit.
Mm.
Like that one blew my mind. Like when they go back and edit an article
Yeah.
and they don't say anything, they just
Yeah.
do the edit. So when people go research it, they're like, "Oh, look, see, it didn't happen. They didn't say
Yeah.
that."
Yeah.
But yet
Yeah.
people have copies of the original
Yeah.
one to
Yep.
prove it. But there's like I could even fall for that.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. I mean, if you told me something, I go Googled it or whatever, and I found it, and I'm like, oh, look, it doesn't say that. But
Right.
you don't know it
Right.
was edited.
Yeah, you have to have that hard copy,
Yeah, I was
or at
trying to
least a
tell.
screenshot or whatever. You
Right. Well,
know.
there are places that store this stuff.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's like Time Machine or something. It's one of those places where you can go back and find all articles. They update and back up all kinds of stuff all the time. Something like that.
Mm.
I don't remember. I'm not really that interested, but because I already know they're lying and they're a bunch of crooks. So they have to convince me they're telling me the truth. They never have to convince me they're lying.
Right.
So that's why I said, and even to me, I miss that society. I miss that even when the media did it, where nobody took the word of the government at its word. No one did it.
Mm.
The government said something. It was like, what? You know what I mean? Everybody questioned it.
So, where do you think partisan politics came from?
I don't know if I can tell you where it came from because I don't really look at it as partisan politics because I think it's division, the same division they're trying to instill in us.
Mm.
And I think it's all part of the same game. I mean, because it used to be the government was the partisan, like it was people, we versus the government, always
Mm-hmm.
us versus the government. And then at some point, they saw power and division. But I think we've talked about this. Like, I don't see a difference between a Democrat and a Republican. I don't. I see a difference in the circumstances, the game they play, the pockets they get their money from, the
Mm-hmm.
people they manipulate are all different, but it's all the same. You know what I mean? It's all the same stuff. I mean, Republicans, I told you, tend to be the people that go to war. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll start a war, and then all the Republicans will buy stock or support companies and invest in companies that are all going to go to war or make missiles or whatever. So they
Mm-hmm.
get rich off that. And then the Democrats do the same game with the social programs. Okay, I'm
Mm.
going to invest in this, or Nancy Pelosi, I'm going to invest in Tesla, and then next thing you
Yeah.
know, Tesla's, oh, we're going electric cars, and like this is the same game, and we're
Mm-hmm.
watching it all the time play, except the difference now is they've managed to get us on teams. So now we don't see the game because it's always the other team playing the bad game.
Mm.
But if you take a moment and look at your own team, you see they're playing the game too.
Yep.
But you're so focused on the other team, which is the enemy, which I might add a certain dictator who killed thousands of Jewish people managed to accomplish that. He didn't do it. He convinced the people to make the other people the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to do a damn thing. He just had to convince a group of people that these people are bad people. And what do you think's happening right now?
Mm.
I mean, aren't we saying that this person's wrong and they're bad, they're bad, they're bad?
Well, this group or party
Yeah,
is wrong. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, like I've even said it, like I don't agree with liberals. I think
Mm-hmm.
liberals have their purpose. I don't want them eliminated. They have great ideas and causes. Like, hey, let's stop throwing plastic in the water and killing the seals and that's a great cause.
Mm.
But they want to shut down the entire oil industry to do it. Like no, it doesn't work like that. So they're
We don't
dreamers.
need all those oil refineries. We don't need
Right.
them.
They're definitely dreamers. They're definitely
Mm-hmm.
more of an like I call it an artistic value they bring because they bring possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't know how to implement them, which is why they need each other.
And you said
Conservatives need
Republicans need
well,
war.
well, yeah. I think that's just a different separation and a different
Yeah.
game. But
Yeah.
right, Yeah,
Huh?
I think it's a balance to a bigger game that only the people on the inside know about.
Mm.
And all of us idiots out here are like, oh, hey, look, oh, you're this, you're that, you're that, you know? So,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. What?
So about that COVID update.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about COVID, weren't we?
Yeah, I'm
How
not
the hell
going
did we
into
get on
politics,
COVID?
man. I'm trying to stay away. Trying
How
to
in
stay
the
away.
hell did we get to that?
Oh, because now this
Oh, the
Wuhan thing is
origin of
going.
the.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So the media is backtracking on that. So,
They'll retract or give a what they say update the articles and
right.
everything. 10 years from now, you're gonna say, "Well, New York Times said this," and somebody's gonna say, "No, they didn't."
Yeah. That silent edit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, thank
Here's
you.
one for you. Chicago restaurants begin launching vaccinated only sections. What do you think?
I don't know. We're going to get into a period of where you're gonna have to show your papers.
You think it's really going to happen? You think they're
Yeah,
going to be
how
able to get away with it?
I want to sit in that section. Show me how are they gonna know I'm vaccinated?
Well, that's been the argument now. That's why they want vaccinated passports and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
show me
nobody's
your
going to know.
papers.
Right. And
Show
well,
me your
who?
papers,
I
man.
mean, so it's just going to create a market for forged papers. Like,
Yeah,
duh.
yeah,
Like,
yep,
really? And then what's that going to solve? So then
yeah,
what? Oh, there's no more outbreak. Oh,
yeah,
everybody's vaccinated. Well, yeah, half of them got fake papers. Like,
yeah.
you know? Like, I was curious about that too, because, like, right now I go places and sometimes I see a sign on the door that says, masks still required.
Hmm.
And I bring my mask. I always put it in my pocket because I want to play nice. It's their business, whatever. And then I walk in and half the people don't have masks on.
Yeah,
So they're not even enforcing it. They just put a sign on the door.
I think
So,
now we're at a point where the majority of stores or businesses, whatever, they're at a point where you know how they put it in the bathroom. Employees must
must
wash their
wash their
hands.
hands.
Now
I
employees must wear masks.
I always wanted to know who supervises that.
Yeah.
Is there somebody supervisor outside the door? All right, let me see your hands.
Yeah.
Okay, they smell clean. Go back to
Yeah.
work.
They do the swab test. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Yeah.
yeah. I always wondered that.
Yeah.
Man,
But
that's good.
yeah, I think that's where we're at now. And now I think I mentioned this on a previous episode that some businesses are saying if the employees get vaccinated, they don't have to wear masks.
Right, right.
You know, which once again, how do you prove that? Show me your papers.
Well, sure. Well, they can do that just like kind of like the flu shot in the military, right?
Yeah.
They
Yep.
can make you go right down there and but still, even then, you could probably forge that, and
Sure
they just
can.
have to catch you
I
checking,
mean,
right? That's all.
there's not much you can't forge these days, man.
Right,
There's not much. Sad to
right.
say. Now with this internet and all these software programs out there, it's
Mm-hmm.
not much, man.
Yeah, and it's
So
gonna get a dangerous world when
yeah.
we start seeing all that craziness coming out.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
so here's one I found interesting. John Hopkins professor says half of Americans have natural immunity to coronavirus. We
So
think
that's
about that.
115 million people, roughly.
Yeah, what is there? 330 something
Yeah,
million?
somewhere around there.
Yeah. So have natural immunity? Oh, did they say the world, or did that say America? Americans said half of Americans. So we have 330 here.
Yeah, roughly somewhere around 330, and uh, yeah, you might want to take care of that dog. That dog hurting.
That dog is Brian.
But no, we have about 330 million, give or take 5, 7 million, and
That's not counting the illegals, all right.
oh, we have about 350 million. Yeah, and if they would have stopped through in that if they stopped in that section down there at the border, they probably would have got vaccinated. Joe's barbecue shack down there at the border in
Right.
Texas. But nah, I don't know how you can prove that. You know, I don't know how you can prove that half of Americans have a natural immunity. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think maybe we should wrap this one up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Oh God. Hey, I'm not even gonna ask, man. I'm not even gonna
You
ask.
don't want to know either.
Yeah. So we're gonna forego our favorite part of the show.
Yeah, let's just say that is all.
That's all we have for you today, boys and girls.
Yes, we will catch you next time, and we hope you like what we have. Until then, Godspeed.
Pull the pin. That was the quickest exit you ever.
Thanks for joining us here. Pull the pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.